Norview Middle School welcomed approximately 60 students during late June and early July for this year's Junior University. This 4-week summer enrichment program is for rising 6th, 7th, and 8th graders and features classes ranging from math and science to college and career education.
It's a very fun and very well way to learn, and it's very useful. We learn stuff, but in a fun way.
It makes me feel great because then I know that I have those resources for next year. In my math class, I've learned most everything in that class already, so it's a good refresher for me. In science class, science is it's good. I like it. And then college careers, I don't have that at all, so I learned a lot in there.
I think it's watching the students learn new things that they aren't usually introduced to during the normal school year. And so they come here and they learn new things, they see new things, especially in science, one of the favorite classes for most of the students. So it's just being able to see that smile, like, oh my goodness, that aha type of look on their face.
Over 300 elementary age students spent 4 weeks of their summer having fun and learning at Camp Einstein. The camp challenges students through a variety of courses that emphasize problem solving, along with classes featuring STEM, sports, and the arts. During the final week, parents are invited to an open house so they can see what their children have been working on in camp.
It's great for them because it's kept them busy over the summer, but they love it. It's stuff they would really be interested in if they could do school without doing all the schoolwork, but it's awesome. It's great.
I've been doing coding and we played with robots. We were doing myths and breaking them and see if they worked. And I did some competitions with other people in my classes. I really like going to camp. And if I just didn't go to camp, then my summer would be boring.
I get to do coding and robotics, which I really, really love coding. And I really love robots as well. And then I get to do 3D art, where I got to make a mug out of clay, and I don't usually get to do that a lot in art class. It makes me feel really, really happy because as I get to do things that I would love to do at normal school, but I can't.
I really hope they get some kind of spark or interest of what they want to do in the future. We've worked hard to bring community volunteers in, and we've had volunteers for the last 3 weeks tying all of the fun activities into possible future careers so kids can get an idea of taking their interest into a further career.
Central office and building administrators from around the district gathered at the Norfolk Doubletree for their annual Summer Leadership Institute. This year's 2-day conference focused on growing as leaders and interpreting data. At the start of each day, insightful guest speakers shared their ideas about leadership and improving literacy with the group.
Well, I think leadership is about building and battling. And I think this Leadership Institute does a little bit of both. People were excited to hear the comments by Dr. Birdsong, which really spoke more to the battling piece. And then there was the building piece where we talked about supporting one another and building each other up.
With boot camp as the theme and with the assistance from the team from Focus Schools, administrators worked hard on day 1 to find ways to become more effective leaders through honest, open dialogue.
We've been talking about leadership and how leadership matters and how it takes all leaders in NPS to make a difference in the lives of children. We've also been talking about going back to this notion of remembering that it's about every student, every day, in every classroom. No exceptions, and we've been learning strategies and tools and learning from one another how to make that happen.
I think it's important to have a unified vision, to make sure that we have a central focus, to make sure that we're doing everything possible, not only for our kids, but for our staff as leaders. Because I think they are so critical, not only the teachers, but the students. But really, we want to make sure we can get everything out of them.
The district-wide preliminary SOL data was presented on day 2, which gave leaders the chance to see where the school system is and talk about what it will take to continue moving forward.
I think the most important thing we can do as district leadership is talk to our peers, whether it be central administration, middle school, high school. You have to be willing to do it, and it's hard work, and a lot of times we're not, but we've been doing a lot of collaboration. We've been looking deep, finally, at data. What's the data say? What are the numbers? We need to know what the numbers are. where the strengths are, which we all appreciate, but where's the opportunity for growth?
At the end of the day, it's all about our children and the difference that we're going to make in the lives of our children. We're talking about strategies, moving forward, growing, trusting one another, being vulnerable. That was the key word for our conference, and it has just really encouraged us to do a better job with our children.
For more news stories and other information about Norfolk Public Schools, watch NPS Now on WNPS-TV 47 or the NPS website.